Hello, time travelers. I am Liana, your guide through the intricate realms of science fiction and reality. Today, we're embarking on an adventure into the paradoxical universe of time travel, a concept that intrigues, puzzles, and sometimes terrifies us. Our topic? The grandfather paradox. This mind-boggling theory has been a staple in science fiction literature and films, gaining notoriety for its perplexing implications. Imagine, if you will, a scenario where you travel back in time and prevent your grandfather from meeting your grandmother. If they never meet, they never have your parent, and ultimately you. But if you don't exist, who traveled back in time to begin with? This paradox poses significant challenges to our understanding of time travel, potentially rendering it an impossibility. But fear not, we're not here to discourage future time travelers. So fasten your seatbelts as we dive into the enigmatic world of the grandfather paradox. Imagine this. What if you could travel back in time and meet your grandfather in his youth? Welcome to the world of paradoxes, where time travel and logic collide in unpredictable ways. Today, let's explore one of the most famous paradoxes in science fiction and theoretical physics, the grandfather paradox. The grandfather paradox begins with a simple premise. Let's say you've mastered time travel. So, you decide to take a trip back in time to when your grandfather was a young man, before he met your grandmother, before your father or mother were even a glimmer in his eye. Now, what if in this journey to the past, something happens, and you inadvertently cause your grandfather's premature demise? It's a grim thought indeed, but bear with me. If your grandfather passes away before he has a chance to meet your grandmother, your parent would never be born. And if your parent is never born, then you too would cease to exist. But here's where things get tricky. If you were never born, then how could you have traveled back in time to cause your grandfather's untimely end in the first place? If you don't exist, then your actions that prevented your existence should also not exist. It's a loop that seems to defy logic, a circle with no beginning and no end. This is the essence of the grandfather paradox. It's a thought experiment that questions the very nature of time and causality. If the past, present, and future are not as linear as we perceive them to be, then how do we reconcile the paradoxes that arise from this non-linearity? But don't fret. Even theoretical physicists and philosophers struggle with these questions. And while there's no definitive answer, there are many fascinating theories that attempt to untangle this cosmic conundrum. This is the crux of the grandfather paradox, a fundamental question that challenges our understanding of time and reality. Now you might be wondering, what are the implications of this paradox? Well, let's dive in. The grandfather paradox doesn't just baffle us with a mind-bending scenario. It sends ripples across our understanding of time, space, and causality. The paradox questions the very concept of time travel, casting doubt on its feasibility. If we could travel back in time and alter events, wouldn't we inevitably create contradictions? Imagine this. You invent a time machine. You decide to travel back to the past, and you accidentally prevent your grandparents from meeting. Hence, your parents were never born, and neither were you. But if you were never born, how could you have built a time machine and traveled back in time to prevent your grandparents from meeting? This is the loop that the grandfather paradox creates, a loop that seems to defy logic. This paradox challenges our understanding of the linear progression of time. We perceive time as a straight line, a constant flow from the past to the future. But if you can travel back and alter that line, does it still remain straight? Or does it become a web of alternate timelines, each branching out from the moment of alteration? Moreover, the grandfather paradox brings into question the nature of cause and effect. We believe that an effect follows a cause. But in the scenario of the paradox, the effect precedes the cause. You prevent your grandparents from meeting, which is the cause, and the effect is that you were never born. But if you were never born, how could you be the cause in the first place? It's a contradiction that turns our understanding of cause and effect on its head. In essence, the grandfather paradox presents a conundrum that defies our understanding of cause and effect. This mind-bending paradox leaves us grappling with questions about time, causality, and the very fabric of our reality. It's a fascinating journey into the realms of the unknown, and we're just scratching the surface. So let's keep exploring. So, how do we resolve this paradox? Let's explore some theories. First up is the multiverse theory. This concept suggests that for every potential event, there's a separate universe. So in the context of our paradox, if you were to travel back in time and do something as drastic as eliminating your grandfather, you wouldn't actually be altering your own past. Instead, you'd be creating an entirely different universe where you simply don't exist. Fascinating, isn't it? This theory effectively sidesteps the paradox by stating that your actions in the past don't affect your original timeline. Next, we have the self-consistency principle. This principle argues that any actions taken by a time traveler would have already been part of history, so if you tried to remove your grandfather, something would inevitably prevent you from doing so. This could range from a sudden change of heart to a minor accident that incapacitates you. Essentially, the universe conspires to maintain its timeline integrity, ensuring that all events occur as they always have. It's as if the universe is saying, "Nice try, but you can't fool me." The Novikov principle takes the self-consistency principle a step further. It suggests that not only are you unable to change the past, but the probability of any event that could cause a paradox is zero. In other words, it's not just that you can't alter your grandfather's fate, but the very idea of you even attempting such an act is impossible. It's a stricter interpretation that rules out the possibility of paradoxes completely. Finally, there's the theory of quantum superposition. This idea suggests that until an event is observed, it exists in all possible states simultaneously. So, your grandfather is both alive and not alive until you check. If you never look, you avoid creating a paradox altogether. This is a rather abstract concept and borrows heavily from the field of quantum physics. Each of these theories presents a unique approach to resolving the grandfather paradox. The multiverse theory allows for an infinite number of possibilities. The self-consistency principle and the Novikov principle suggest that the universe has its own way of preventing paradoxes. And quantum superposition, the most abstract of them all, proposes that it's our observation that solidifies reality. However, it's crucial to remember that these are just theories. They're intellectual exercises, attempts to make sense of a concept that's currently beyond our understanding. They can't definitively prove or disprove the possibility of time travel. The truth is, we still have a lot to learn about the nature of time and the universe. Each of these theories presents a unique approach to resolving the grandfather paradox, yet none can definitively prove or disprove the possibility of time travel. From challenging our understanding of time to questioning the very nature of reality, the grandfather paradox certainly gives us food for thought. In our journey today, we've unraveled the enigma that is the grandfather paradox, a concept that not only pushes the boundaries of our imagination, but also probes the essence of our existence and the universe we inhabit. We began by dissecting the paradox itself, an intriguing thought experiment that imagines a time traveler journeying back to an era before their grandfather had children, and, in a twist of events, accidentally or intentionally ending the grandfather's life. This creates a logical inconsistency, a paradox, as the time traveler could never have been born to make the trip in the first place. We then delved into the consequences of this paradox. It's not just about the impossibility of the act, but the ripple effect it would have on the fabric of time and space. It forces us to question if time as we know it is linear, or if it's a complex web of interconnected events that can be altered, creating alternate realities or parallel universes. Finally, we explored the various theories that attempt to resolve the grandfather paradox. From the Novikov self-consistency principle, which suggests that any action taken by a time traveler would have already been part of history, to the concept of parallel universes, where each decision creates a new, distinct timeline. These theories, while they may not provide definitive answers, offer fascinating insights into the nature of time and reality. The grandfather paradox, a seemingly simple thought experiment, unravels a complex tapestry of questions and theories that challenge our understanding of the universe. Whether you're a sci-fi enthusiast or a curious mind, the paradox serves as a gateway to exploring the deeper, often unanswered questions about our existence and the cosmos. Whether time travel will ever be possible remains a question for the future. But for now, the grandfather paradox continues to perplex and fascinate us. Until next time, keep exploring the realms of the unknown. This is Liana signing off.